having to get up again. Just want to say Aretha Franklin was the best. Please stand and sing our opening song. Please say hello to Paul Krybeck, who's getting on the drums. And Reverend Kusala is in the house today. Reverend Kusala, there he is. Here we go. Is it Peace to the World? Is it up there? Huh? It's not up there? There we go. 2, 3, 4. Up your hands, put a smile on your face. Talking to everybody in the human race. We're proud, we're strong, so stand up tall. Let's all get together and bring peace to you. Sing. Let's all get together and bring peace to the world. Let's all get together and bring peace to every man, every woman, every boy and girl. Let's all get together and bring peace to the world. Raise up your hands, put a smile on your face. Talk to everybody in the human race. We're proud, we're strong. So stand up tall. Let's all get together and bring peace to the world. Let's all get together and bring peace to the world. Let's all get together and bring peace to the world. Every man, every woman, boy or girl. Let's all get together and bring peace to the open your door, feed the hungry, and give to the poor. Come on and open your heart, and don't think small. Let's all get together and bring peace to the world. You sing, all get together and bring peace to the world. Let's all. Every man, every woman, boy or girl, let's all get together. Do it again. Let's all get together. Come on, let me do it again. I can hear you. What? Bring what? Peace. Man, every woman, boy and girl, let's all get together. Let's all get together, bring peace to the world. Let's all get together, bring peace to the world. Oh yeah, Redondo, you sound good this morning. Say hi to each other.
Can you hear me now?
Maybe go to the other mic.
Good morning, wonderful people. Here at the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living, we welcome you, we appreciate you, and thank you for your presence. If you're here for the first time, would you raise your hand, stand if you can, let the people see the beautiful you, and the greeters will give you a gift package. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a couple down here too. Check. This one. Welcome, welcome, welcome. They're taking my mic away.
No, I'm giving you that mic. No, that's your mic.
Can you hear me now? In this thing called life, there's no place that God is not. He's in every spot. Yeah. You will be whoever you will to be. Let fail you find this false pretense in that poor word environment. But spirit scorns it and is free. It masters time, it conquers space, it cows that boast for trickster chance in a tyrant circumstance. Uncrowned and healed a human's need, the force unseen, the offspring of a deathless soul, can hew a way to any goal. Through walls of granite as they intervene, be not impatient in delay, and wait as one who understands, and the Spirit will arrive. Thank you for your day. We have a new musician here today. Is this Kelly? Woo! And the Redondo Beach Trio.
Good morning, good morning. How y'all feeling? All right, you ready to get up in it? Went to the doctor near the swamp in the wood. Been feeling mighty bad and that ain't good. Give me a potion, something gonna put this pain to bed. What you got in your bag of tricks? And this is what he said. He said, love, gonna be your healing. Love, gonna be the call. Love, gonna be your healing. Gonna do it all. Yes, it is. You know what I'm talking about. Let me tell you some more about this guy. Ow! He was a bit unbalanced, wild hair and eyes. But his words were clear to me, much to my surprise. Resurrect your heart, he said, everything will heal. Better than a bag of tricks, better than a pill. Because love, gonna be your healing. Love, gonna be the call. Love, gonna be your healing. Yes, it is. Love, gonna do it all. Cause all you got to do is love your neighbor. All you gotta do is hear the call. All you gotta do is look inside. Look into your heart and find the love, love, love. Yeah, yeah, find love. I went to their doctor near the swamp in the wood. I'm feeling so much better now, and that is good. Take this magic potion to the people that you know. Better hurry up right now, it's time for you to go. Because love, gonna be your healing. Love, gonna be the call. Love, gonna be your healing. Yes, it is. Love, gonna do it all. Cause all you got to do is love your neighbor. All you gotta do is hear the call. All you gotta do is look inside. Come on, look into your heart. Look into your heart and find the love, love, love. Look into your heart and find the love. Yeah, yeah. Come on, find the love. Ooh, yeah, come on, find the love. Come on, look around, where you gonna find the love? Come on, find the love. Yeah, yeah. Gonna be the healing up in here. Hey, yeah. Hey, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Thank you. Thank you so much. Take it to the bed.
Well, Kelly, that was very powerful and lovely. Thank you. Good morning. It's my pleasure to give today's Science of Mind lesson based upon Reverend Kusala's topic, How Buddhism Changed My Life, My Story. Ernest Holmes, founder of Science of Mind, was not only a student of the Bible, the classics, and New Thought, but he was a student of world religions as well, including the Eastern philosophies. He saw the truth in a number of religions and philosophies and incorporated them in Science of Mind. Page 35 of the Science of Mind textbook, he says, "The science of mind is not a special revelation of any individual. It is, rather, the culmination of all revelations. We take the good wherever we find it, making it our own insofar as we understand it." It is always of interest during the once-a-month spiritual discussion group that takes place on the first Thursday at 7 p.m. in Richelieu Hall. It's just a little advertisement, that's all. It's always of interest during that spiritual discussion group how often the Dalai Lama is quoted on some topic, from anger to compassion to love. I'd like to quote from His Holiness the Dalai Lama from his book entitled The Dalai Lama's Little Book of Inner Peace. All religions share a common root, which is limitless compassion. They emphasize human improvement, love, respect for others, and compassion of the suffering of others. Insofar as love is an essential in every religion, we could say that love is a universal religion. Ernest Holmes stated it simply at page 43 of the text. In an intelligent study of the teachings of the science of mind, we come to understand that all is love and yet all is law. Love rules through law. Now, the philosophy of science of mind is deeply rooted in the concept that our thoughts manifest and become our reality. So what does the Dalai Lama think about that? Again, from his book, and I quote, "Buddhism states that man is his own master, or that he has the potential to become his own master. This is the very basis of Buddhist philosophy. Mind is the creator of our world in every moment. That is why responsibility is so crucially connected with our mind." Ernest Holmes is in complete agreement that mind is the creator of our world. He writes at page 126 of the text, "Whatever we think, act, believe in, feel, visualize, vision, image, read, and talk about are going into the subjective state of our thought, which is our individual use of universal mind. Whatever goes into the subjective state of our thought tends to return again as some condition. So we, and we alone, control our destiny." So, Let's take the good wherever we find it, whether in Buddhism, science of mind, or wherever, and use it in our daily lives for a better today and tomorrow. Please repeat after me. I give and receive love. I am love. I see good. I use that good in my life. And so it is. Please stand for the congregational song. Thank you for this day.
Hello. There we are. Kelly, come on up and help me sing this. Let's get Kelly up here to help me sing this. We gotta get a little funky first. Get them all doing that. There we go. How's that going? 1, 2, you know what to do. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this glorious day. This glorious, this holy day. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my wealth, Spirit. Thank you for my wealth. Thank you for my wealth, Spirit. Thank you for my wealth. Abundant, abundant, abundant wealth. Abundant, abundant, abundant wealth. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My beautiful, my beautiful, my beautiful life. My beautiful, my beautiful, my beautiful life. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This holy, this holy, this holy day. This holy, this holy, this holy day. And thank you for this day. Thank you for this day. One more. Ooh, yeah. Thank you for this day. Thank you, Kelly.
Hi everyone. This isn't working. Oh, it is working. Hi. Okay, so visioning is on Monday nights, but it's on vacation for the month of August. So Dr. Moira is asking our loyal group of visioners to continue to vision for our center and for world peace wherever you are. Richelieu Hall is closed for use today, but the doors are open so you can see the progress. Please respect the cautions. They're there to keep everyone safe. There will be chairs set up in the foyer of Richelieu Hall area after service to sit and chat. It's back to school time, which I'm not excited for, but it's okay because I know that it's a privilege that a lot of people don't get to have. So, yeah, I'm grateful for that. And at this time every year, the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living supports Rainbow Services as they assist mothers and their children fleeing from abusive home situations. While there are many needs that call to all of us, this is a need that is local, and all of your donations go directly to the children in the form of school supplies. We collect new backpacks, notebooks, binders, and general school supplies. We accept cash donations for those who don't care to shop. Maureen is in the foyer to answer questions. Drumming Circle is on Sunday, August 26th at 12:30 p.m. in the Montessori room. The Noble Fellowship Group, aka Men's Spirit Group, will meet on Monday, August 27th at 7 p.m. in the teen room. Sorry. Wednesday evening services continue August 15th. Reverend Carol Lotz will be the speaker and Reverend Louisa Gravel will do the meditation. Join us at 7:30 p.m. for an inspirational evening.
It's the 22nd, August 22nd.
Oh, August 22nd now. Lake Arrowhead applications are out now. It will be Memorial Day weekend, May 24th to 27th, 2019. If you start the payment plan now, you can pay it off over 9 months. Applications are available at the front desk. We always have practitioner on duty. Look for them in the rear of the sanctuary rather than the foyer. We also offer prayer circle after both services. If you would like to join the circle, please come to the grand piano after service. Please remain seated for the meditation song.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always saying, our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Think a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer. Thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
And so, for the next few minutes, we give ourselves permission to just be. You can listen to my words, or you can let your mind go where it wants to take you. Right now, you're free from all your responsibilities at this time. So put aside any sorts of tasks, concerns that may be awaiting you. And if you find your mind wanders through this meditation, it's okay. This is a time to wander in a place of quiet relaxation and inner stillness. And so with your eyes closed, you begin to connect with your inner world of thought and feeling. Gradually let the outer world fade from your mind. No worries, no plans, no lists. This is a healing place, a sanctuary where we can safely hear our inner guides and listen to that quiet teacher within. A place where we take off our masks, our pretenses, and we trust the truth of our divine selves. We know in our philosophy that healing is revealing, that it takes place when we feel safe enough to hear and to tell ourselves the truth. And so, I remind myself that the desire for change in my life needs to be greater than the pull of my need to feel safe. That healing takes place when I declare I have the courage to risk the price of leaving comfort in order to grow. To be brave enough to admit that for change to happen, I may have to admit that I've held on to what I no longer need way too long. And so, in this time of quiet, just for a moment, I allow myself to surrender. I surrender the need to hold on to my old stories and allow all things to become new. I allow myself to be reminded of my magnificence and hold that as true. No conditions, just true. Old things pass away, and I dare to see my newness, who I truly am. I lovingly release the things of the past. I thank the path, all the circumstances, all the people that brought me to this moment of self-acceptance, of simple acceptance of it all. No retribution, no harsh self-admonishment, just a feeling of nurturing, a feeling of love. And I dare to begin that path of acknowledgement of my goodness, my gifts, my reason for being on this plane. This sense of self, this acceptance of my individual divinity, frees me from the prison of my old thoughts and beliefs. And it's with gratitude for the sense of my true self that I let go of all that has held me back. And I realize that to stay there saps me of the power that I can now use to fly, to imagine, to soar, to accept that the universe is limitless and so am I. So in this moment of quiet, I ask myself, am I willing to know? Am I willing to let go and trust? Am I willing to hear? And am I willing to listen? And so I take a little time now to hear the answers to these questions. I'm safe. I open my heart to the joy of acceptance, the freedom of knowing that there is more. There's no forcing. There's no pressure. There's no demanding. There's no analyzing. There's no finish line. There's no cups to be won. Just the peace of connectedness. This is a sacred time and place, and I just become still and know, and I listen in the peace. And I am ready. I'm willing to know. I'm willing to let go. I'm willing to grow. And I'm willing to be. And I have an awesome sense that my life has meaning. And as I do this, I learn what is meaningful for me and feel empowered. I'm no longer afraid of expanding my world, of taking off my water wings. I welcome new experiences. I get excited about them, and I'm open. I feel connected to everyone while trusting my individuality, while treasuring it, while giving thanks for it, and I honor it. I just accept all of who I am. I accept my feelings, my desires, my quirks, my gifts. And I'm able to accept everyone else as they are, knowing that I have enough work to do on myself. Then I realize it's no longer work I am doing. It's recognizing. It's accepting. It's allowing as I uncover my precious self and I celebrate it. It's a peaceful process. It's not a struggle. What a surprise. I smile. And now I feel aligned with my true self. And as I go about my day, I find people around me have changed. Well, of course they haven't. But my awareness has changed. My ability to see others as they truly are. My acceptance of who they are has grown as I accept myself as I truly am. And I experience that sense of being one with all around me. I find I can genuinely greet the Christ, the light in others when I say namaste. Recognizing the truth of their perfection as I continue to accept my own. In the morning I wake up ready to be open to whatever my day brings. Always curious, ever grateful. At the end of the day, I give thanks for the joy, the happiness, the loving kindness that I've shared and experienced and grown into. And as we come back into the awareness of the sanctuary and those around us, we have a new sense of who we are, how wonderful we are, how wonderful life is, and an expectation of joy as we live free and true to being ourselves. And so it is. Amen.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
So it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome and introduce our speaker for today. I know he had a wonderful build-up from Dr. Sue last week, and I'm not going to add a whole bunch to his biography because I'm sure he'll share it with us. But I read that part of his name, Bhikshu, means monk, so that clears that up. And he was given the name Kusala, which means skillful. I appreciate those of you who are better acquainted with Buddhism not rolling your eyes too loudly at my ignorance, but I know that the mindfulness and prayerfulness of our teaching makes us feel very comfortable with what Reverend Bhikshu is going to share with us today. He gives presentations at local schools and colleges, and he speaks a lot in local churches on Buddhism. And some of his work's even done down here in the South Bay. So I know from a short and delightful conversation with him during the week that he's a humble, although skillful, teacher. And it delights me to introduce the Venerable and Reverend Kusala Bhikshu.
Thank you, Andy. That was good. I like that. Well, I'm happy to be here today. Happy to be anywhere, actually, but it's nice to be here. This is a fantastic facility, and it's awe-inspiring. And I hope what I have to say will clear up a few things about what it means to be a Buddhist, and more importantly, what it means to be a human being. So, 1978, I don't know how many of you remember that year, but I was 29 years old, and I was soon to be 30, and I just freaked out. Because I seemed to understand that once you get past 30, then you just die. And I wasn't prepared for that. I'd been born a Lutheran, which made my parents happy. And then I became an agnostic in high school, because in the 1960s, it was important to question all authority and not trust anyone over 30. So I felt comfortable in not knowing. Being agnostic, you didn't have to commit yourself one way or the other. And then in 1978, at the age of 29, I figured it's time to get serious about this, how to live and how to die. So I bought a book by Houston Smith called World Religions, and I read that book and the chapter on Buddhism twice, and I said, I'm going to be a Buddhist, because that made the most sense to me in those pages in that book. So I went to a meditation center, which is where I now live, and I learned how to meditate. And I would go back on Sundays and listen to the Dharma talks. And meditation was one of the most challenging things I had ever done, because you just sit quietly for long periods of time. And I thought to myself, isn't this sort of wasting time? And then I felt the pain and suffering of not moving and trying not to think. And I thought back to the first talk that the Buddha ever gave, which was called the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the turning of the wheel talk, where he talked about the Four Noble Truths. And he said the first truth that I have discovered is that life is ultimately unsatisfactory. Now, you know, my life had been pretty good until then. And there was a little discontent, and there was a little dis-ease about certain aspects of my life. And I thought to myself, is that what the suffering is? Not feeling comfortable with who you are, where you are, what you're doing, what you should be doing, what you're not doing? Is that what suffering is? And now I had a name for that feeling that I'd had most of my life. And I realized that I too was suffering. But in the context of Buddhism, it's okay to realize that, because there's an answer to suffering. And so what I did is I continued to listen to the talks of the Buddha, and he said, let me tell you why you are suffering. You are suffering because you have desire, you have attachment, you have aversion, you have a thirst that can't be quenched. And no matter what you try to do to make yourself feel better, it's only temporary. All the other stuff always comes back. I went, man, that's it. That's why. You know, I think maybe if I had a different girlfriend or a better job or a bigger TV set, then my life would be good. But none of those things, and all the things I tried, didn't really change my life other than in that moment in a temporary way. Then he went on to say, there is an answer, and the answer is nirvana. Now, nirvana is pretty hard to understand, but let me give you just a thumbnail sketch of nirvana. Nirvana is the end of suffering. Once you achieve nirvana, you'll never have to suffer again. Nirvana is the end of karma. Now, you might not think that's good. And if karma is, in fact, my intention, my speech, my action, and it's what I use to create the world around me in a skillful or unskillful way, getting rid of my karma, why would that be a good thing? And the Buddha went on to say, because your karma migrates lifetime to lifetime. We have something called rebirth. And we are reborn infinite times until we finally achieve nirvana, which becomes the end of our rebirth cycle. So what's wrong with rebirth? Well, the problem with rebirth is you suffer in every lifetime. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But in every lifetime, you've buried your parents because you've lived longer than they have. And it's sad and you cry. You've buried countless pets because they don't live longer than 10 to 15 years. You know, and there's little Bobby Joe now. He died. So you get somebody else. You get a little cat or a little dog. It dies too. In one lifetime, you've buried 10 pets, if not more. So each lifetime we have experienced, we have suffered, and we have felt pain, and we have felt loss, and it's uncomfortable. And the Buddha said if you achieve nirvana, you will not only end the suffering in this lifetime, but you'll never have to be reborn again. You'll never have to suffer again in the same way you have suffered countless lifetimes. Now, this is a hard sell, because what we're talking about is maybe not existing. And who doesn't want to exist? You have to admit, life is full of ups and downs, but it's better than not existing at all. But I think what the Buddha was talking about was even more profound than our existence. I think what he meant was this: I have found a way to exist without being born. Birth seems to be the problem, because everything that's born has to die. And if you can exist without being born, you'll never have to die. And he figured it out. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. I'm going to work on being born until I achieve nirvana, and then I'm going to work on not being born and simply existing without suffering, without birth, without death, without desire, craving. Okay, cool. So how do you do that? How do you get there? What's the secret? What's the prescription? He said, I have discovered the eightfold path. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. And those 8 path factors will take you in the direction of nirvana and the end of your suffering. Wow, the end of my suffering. And I'm sitting there meditating, and I'm suffering, and this sounds so good. And all I have to do is meditate until the suffering ends. But it doesn't end. You know, you get more skillful, but you could be meditating for 30 years and still have a sore knee, or an uncomfortable back, or an agitated mind. Meditation is not linear. It's always happening right now, and it's always the first time. Okay, I'm working on it. So I want to become a Buddhist. Well, after a year of meditation and listening to Dharma talks, they said, we will make you a Buddhist. I said, oh, that is so cool. How do you do it? Well, we have a little ceremony, and you get a certificate suitable for framing. And we give you a Buddhist name, and then you take the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts, and then you become an official Buddhist. And I was so excited. I said, okay, cool. So one Sunday after the Sunday service, 2 other people and myself became official Buddhists. And I was given the name Kusala, and you know now that that means skillful. And I felt really good about that because it meant to me that my teachers saw how skillful I was. And they say, oh no, Kusala. Doesn't work that way, man. You're really unskillful. And we want to give you that name to remind you each time somebody says Kusala, what you need to do and the direction you need to be in. You need to be more skillful. Okay, I got that now. More humble, more humility, okay. Then they said, the 3 refuges. I take refuge in the Buddha, number 1. The Buddha was a guy, a man, a human being who found his perfection through his own effort, insight, and wisdom. So we take refuge in that. It's like the Buddha means the one who woke up. So it's like calling somebody a president. Anybody can be a Buddha once they wake up. It's just a title. Okay. The Dharma, his teachings. He's reported to have said, I cannot enlighten you. I can only tell you how I did it, and the rest is up to you. Okay, so I've got a lot of work ahead, and I've got a certain level of accountability that falls on my shoulders. I got that. The Sangha, take refuge in the Sangha. The Sangha are the monks and nuns, novice monks fully ordained, novice nuns fully ordained. And you take refuge in them because they are human beings who have not yet achieved nirvana, but have devoted their life to it. And you might be able to learn something from them. You can ask them questions. You can see what they do. More importantly, you can see what they don't do. Okay. And now you got to take the 5 precepts, because the 5 precepts are the training precepts every Buddhist follows in the whole entire world, no matter what kind of Buddhist you are. Number 1, the first training precept, I will practice not to take life. Well, I thought I can do that. You know, that shouldn't be so hard. And then the mosquito shows up. And all your confidence goes right out the window, which is where you wish the mosquito would go. And you go, man, okay, well, so what's the best way to practice? I said to myself, well, wake up in the morning and say to yourself, today I'm not taking anybody out. And you walk out that front door with confidence that you can make it through the whole day without taking anybody out. Then, as you get good at that, then lions and tigers and bears, oh my, you're not going to kill any of them either. Okay. Then the mosquitoes, the cockroaches, the ants, I'm not going to kill any of them either. Oh man. Now, the deal with not killing is it takes a really long time not to kill. You know, you got the little cockroach and you're chasing them all over the place trying to capture them in a jar or something so you can take them outside. It might be a half hour, if not longer. And you could just spray the little guy, wish him a good rebirth, problem solved. But no, you want to be a Buddhist, so you're not going to kill him. The second precept is, I will practice not taking what is not given. Now, the word practice is really important because it identifies you as someone who hasn't reached that level of performance yet. You're still practicing. So you're going to practice not to take what is not given, which is different from not stealing. It's a little more complicated. You walk into Denny's, you order a hamburger, they got the ketchup on the table. You can't use it, because it hasn't been offered to you. So you have to get the waitress over and say, can I use the ketchup? She says, well, that's what it's there for. And you say softly, well, I'm just trying to be a Buddhist. So not taking what is not offered allows you to see the attachment we have to stuff. We like our stuff. We buy a lot of stuff. We give stuff away. We sell stuff. You know, and it just seems to be part of our life. But it isn't our stuff ever. It's just stuff we're using until somebody wants it more than we do. They steal it. Or the new model comes out, and you want that more than what you have. Or you can't find it anymore because you put it away in a place you'll be sure to find it, and it's not there because you forgot the place. So stuff causes us a lot of suffering, as does killing. Number 3, I will practice not to indulge in sexual misconduct. Now, this is sort of weird in Los Angeles because in LA, everything is okay. So what did the Buddha have to say about sexual misconduct? He said there are 4 things you need to avoid because they increase suffering, not decrease suffering. The first thing you need to avoid is having sex with people who are married, because it causes a lot of suffering. They're in a committed relationship. They want to love each other, like each other, be partners with each other. And here you are messing up the whole thing. No way, man. Stay away from people who are married. Next thing, do not have sex with people who are engaged, because they're going to be married. And you don't want to bring up any kinds of thoughts of, is this the right person for me? Should I wait? Should I find somebody? You don't want to go there. Just forget it. Number 3, not to have sex with children, because they are being supported by their parents and they are children. Number 4, to not have sex with people against their will. You would think that's common sense, but common sense is a rare commodity these days. So those are the 4 things, and you would think every Buddhist would abide by those, would find it relatively easy to abide by those, and then you watch an episode of TMZ, and you realize they're breaking those 4 things all the time, which causes suffering. That's why we do this. We don't do that because it causes suffering. We do the 5 precepts because it lessens suffering. Number 4, I will not speak unskillfully. False speech, harsh speech, malicious speech, gossip and idle chatter, I will try to avoid those because they increase suffering. They do not decrease suffering. And number 5, the hardest one of all, I will practice not consuming intoxicants. Man, they just made marijuana legal. And now you're asking me not to consume any intoxicants at all? Yes, we are. Well, why, pray tell, are you doing that? Because when you get high, you get stupid. And you can break the other 4 precepts and not even know you did. So clarity is important. We really honor clarity. Those are the 5 precepts. Those are the 3 refuges. I got my name. I'm ready to be a Buddhist. And now I got the rest of my life to practice. So it comes up to meditation. Morality is the basis. 5 precepts, morality is the basis of your practice. Now you have an advanced practice of meditation. Meditation is designed to cultivate your mind, to literally change your mind. And there were 44 different kinds of meditation we have available to us as a Buddhist to bring us to a place of balance and acceptance and equanimity. So I chose breathing meditation because breathing meditation can either go into mindfulness or tranquility. And one of the nice things about breathing meditation is you're always breathing. You don't have to have a candle or a picture, you know, or a CD of your favorite meditation music. You just got to breathe. And if you're not breathing, you don't need to meditate. So I'm sitting there watching my breath. And I said, how are you supposed to watch your breath? Everybody says, watch your breath. I can't see my breath. Unless it's 30 degrees, then I can see it. But other than that, no. Seeing is just sort of euphemistic. You want to feel the sensation of breath going out and coming in, going out and coming in. Okay. So what does that tell me? Well, the cool thing about sensation is every time you have a sensation, it's always happening right now. It's not the past, it's not the future, happening right now. So you have the sensation of breath, and you're coming to the present moment experience of your life, which we rarely visit because past and future is so much more exciting. Right now is the only place we can make our life. Right now is the only thing we can do about making our life. And how do we recognize that? Well, we practice sensation of breath, sensation of breath. And here we are. And when you're in that place of sensation of breath, you start to go inside, not outside. And you start realizing the answers you have been looking for have always been there, not out there. I have talked to people who have gone to India, joined an ashram to find the truth. And I'm thinking to myself, I saved myself a lot of money. I just looked inside. And there it was. And now I had to decipher it. What does my truth mean? Because it is my truth. I have a unique life just like all of you. And we all have a relative truth. You can't drive faster than 65. And we all have an ultimate truth. And the ultimate truth I found was this: everything is impermanent. Nothing stays the same longer than a moment. Everything ultimately will be unsatisfactory because of that impermanence. And I do not exist in the way I think I do. I am a process, not an event. Therefore, I continue to manifest in different ways depending on the conditions I find myself in. That was the big truth I found. Now, it didn't get me a job, but it did get me a thing called peace. That now I could have peace simply residing in the present moment. Now, the light just went on back there, which indicates to me that my suffering will soon end. And in order to help that along, I brought my harmonica with me. And I like to play a little blues, because what else would a Buddhist play? So here we go, in the key of G.
Kusala, you have brought us a wonderfully, wonderful experience today. Thank you. And the blues was just icing on the cake, so thank you so much. This is the time in our service where we talk to you about how we honor our mission statement, which is to honor, to nurture, and to enrich. And we share messages from people who show us how we are doing that. I am writing to express my gratitude for Dr. Moira's excellent talks that are posted online. I have been a passionate follower of this teaching for 8 years now. It has been a monumental part of my growth, especially during numerous turning points that have occurred in my life in the past few years. For a while now, I've been reading and studying on my own, collecting countless books. I found your talks and have been hooked ever since. I feel as if I am in a center and that I am learning from a reliable source. After all of the reading I have done, hearing these talks have made Ernest Holmes come alive in my life. I only wish I lived closer to your center, where I know I would happily attend religiously. Please accept my donation to your center with love and gratitude, and keep those messages coming. Thank you very much. So as the ushers come forth, I invite you to take your gift and place it between your hands and say with me, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is.
When I was a girl each week, on Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest, and he would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, oh, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad, miracles don't happen still. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. To look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, I barely wet my fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. Used to be a world half there, with heaven's second-rate hand-me-downs. Now I walk with reverent care. Everything is holy now. Questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. That'd be pretty hard to say. See, can't you see another new morning sun? And say it's not a sacrament. I tell you it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, oh, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. Thank you. Thank you to the band.
What a day. You know, I'm going off track, but I see a little instrument there. Are we going to be able to enjoy a little ukulele playing? Would you appreciate more musical talent from Kusala? This is called Buddha spontaneity. Accepting what is. Oh, so ukulele, okay.
This little song I came up with, I used a melody and I changed some of the words. And so I can't take credit for the whole thing, just half of it. Spin well, sweet darn the wheel, coming for to wake me up. Spin well, sweet darn the wheel, coming for to wake me up. Well, I sat down and meditating, what did I see? Coming for to wake me up. Band of Buddhas coming after me, coming for to wake me up. Spin well, sweet darn the wheel, coming for to wake me up. Spin well, sweet darn the wheel, coming for to wake me up. Well, if you wake up before I do, coming for to wake me up. Tell my friends that I'm awakened too, coming for to wake me up. Spin well, sweet darn the wheel, coming for to wake me up. Spin well, sweet darn the wheel, coming for to wake me up. Coming for to wake me up. All right. Thank you.
I bet he's got a harp hidden somewhere too. What a blessing you are. Thank you, Kusala. So now let's just join together and say the words of our blessing as we give thanks for an absolutely glorious Sunday morning here. I know divine love enfolds me, divine light leads me, divine life lives in me, divine wisdom inspires me, divine compassion expresses through me, and divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life in expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days with grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, and in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, with blessing and in deep gratitude, I know for all life. There is only God, there is only God, there is only God. And now let's all rise for the peace song.